Former WWE Champion sends a message to Ric Flair. Becky Lynch gives her take on the most important aspect of wrestling. And former WWE Intercontinental Champion has high praise for Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson at AEW Dynamite Grand Slam. Hello everyone, Jose G here bringing you today's top stories in today's Sportskeeda Wrestling News Roundup. To stay up to date with all of our content, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Former WWE Champion sends a message to Ric Flair. A tweet posted by Ric Flair fan didn't sit well with WWE Hall of Famer Rob Van Dam. It is public knowledge at this point that Flair isn't happy with RVD. The former WWE Champion talked about the Nature Boy's demeanor on the plane ride from hell on the latest Dark Side of the Ring episode. Ric Flair noticed an article detailing Rob Van Dam's comment about what happened between Flair and flight attendant Heidi Doyle. He was enraged at Van Dam's comments and stated that he tried to destroy his reputation based on an assumption. Ever since then, Rob Van Dam has been having heated Twitter exchanges with a bunch of fans. When a fan said that RVD doesn't have the stones to stand up to Flair, he hit back at him. He also took a major shot at the Nature Boy in the process. The plane ride from hell is one of the most controversial incidents in WWE history and was as real as it could get. The latest Dark Side of the Ring episode focused on the infamous flight from 2002. Heidi Doyle was a flight attendant on that plane ride and appeared on the episode. Doyle accused Ric Flair of sexual assault, and the comments sent to the pro wrestling world into the frenzy. WWE acted swiftly after the Flair controversy made headlines and removed them from the opening video package. Fans may have noticed that the company has replaced him with another Hall of Famer, the Ultimate Warrior. Rob Van Dam has always been one to not mince his words. In this case, though, he didn't directly respond to Ric Flair's tweet. Booker T on why top NXT stars shouldn't move to the main roster. WWE legend Booker T thinks that Tommaso Ciampa should not move to the main roster and should be a key part of the NXT brand. Ciampa has been one of the focal points of NXT since 2015. He's been involved in a number of high-profile feuds during his NXT run, and with his work being met with critical acclaim. On previous occasions, Ciampa has expressed the reluctance to move up to the main roster due to a heavier workload involved. Booker T, while talking about the new iteration of NXT on his Hall of Fame podcast, discussed current NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa and why he's perfect for the brand. The two-time Hall of Famer believes Ciampa could be a mentor of sorts on NXT, helping the younger stars take their game to the next level. Saying, quote, "Tommaso Ciampa, I think if he came to the main roster, he'd get lost in the shuffle. In NXT, he's going to be playing at a high level. He's going to be playing a big role there. He's great for those younger guys coming up that he can actually help, hopefully mentor and guide to what is going to take for you guys to go to the next level. If that's talking bad about somebody, I wish somebody talked about me like that sometimes. A guy like Tommaso Ciampa, he's perfect for NXT. And people can take that and look at it however they want. There again, if someone was calling me perfect, I'd take it any day of the week." End quote. The NXT champion had previously stated that he didn't want to move to Raw or SmackDown. He clarified those comments recently, stating that the hectic schedule is the reason why he wants to be in NXT. The WWE superstar has been a part of the NXT roster since 2015 and is the current NXT champion, winning the title for the second time earlier this month. Becky Lynch gives her take on the most important aspect of professional wrestling. While impressive athletic ability often impresses viewers, Becky Lynch believes that the art of storytelling and connecting with the crowd are more important. In a recent interview with Metro, Lynch discussed the importance of the aforementioned features of wrestling. She stated that this relationship with the fans is more impactful than anything, saying, quote, "I think that the connection with the crowd is the most important thing. It's more important than moves, it's more important than anything, being able to connect with an audience. I feel like that is something I got fairly early on, whether or not I was any good. It was just being able to connect with an audience. And two, was a story above all else. I think sometimes, as wrestlers who love wrestling, We want to have a good wrestling match in spite of story. Does that make sense? That can sometimes convolute things, and really the things that everybody remember is story. It's not moves. It's not flips. It's not Canadian destroyers. It's a story and how that whole story makes you feel. And that's what we do. We're storytellers. I think I learned that fairly early on that it's more important, end quote. In the past, Lynch has relied on storytelling as the main fuel for her character in order to attract fans to what she's doing. Likewise, the man is currently building a new story with another side of her character that hasn't been seen before. Becky Lynch made her return to WWE at SummerSlam last month. There, she shocked the world by defeating Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's title in under 27 seconds. The loss at the party of the summer didn't sit well with Bianca Belair and is currently set to face Becky Lynch for the SmackDown Women's Championship this Sunday at Extreme Rules. WWE legend has a problem with Rhea Ripley and Nikki A.S.H storyline. Bully Ray recently highlighted his problem with Nikki A.S.H and Rhea Ripley's partnership on Raw. He believed the company has not presented a compelling reason behind why the contrasting superstars are allies in the first place. Although Ripley and A.S.H are currently portraying as heroes on screen, they feuded over the Raw Women's Championship not too long ago. Since exiting the title scene, the foes turned friends have won the tag team gold together. Speaking on Busted Open Radio, Bully Ray expressed that Vince McMahon might be a fan of their pairing because of how different they are as characters. While Rhea Ripley has developed a darker tone to her on-screen persona over the years, Nikki A.S.H is one of the most cheerful gimmicks in recent memory, saying, quote, "All you have to do is make me understand why a woman like Rhea would want to stand next to a woman like Nikki. I'm talking about the characters. Yes, the characters are an odd couple, and that's why Vince loves it. It's almost like the old, but can they get along? You want me to understand Nikki and Rhea standing next to each other? Tell me a story of why they are standing next to each other," end quote. The WWE legend spoke about a possible downfall angle for Ripley on the main roster. He said that in such a scenario, Nikki A.S.H could have been the one to build the former NXT star's confidence back up, thereby creating a partnership based on trust. Former WWE Intercontinental Champion has high praise for Kenny Omega versus Daniel Bryan at AEW Dynamite Grand Slam. Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega have the whole wrestling world talking following their epic clash at AEW Dynamite Grand Slam. One of the many people taking to Twitter to discuss the match is wrestling legend Lance Storm. Danielson and Omega's bout went to a 30-minute draw where the two stars gave it their all in front of the fans at Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York. Bryan Danielson shined in his AEW in-ring debut as the former WWE Champion showed that he's undoubtedly still has it. He showed resilience and tremendous heart, all in the face of the stiff and vicious strikes dished out by the cleaner. As the match came down to the wire, Omega and Danielson went all out, trying to score a victory before the time limit had run over. However, just as the American Dragon was about to lock in his submission finisher, the bell rang. Lance Storm took to Twitter to praise the match between the two stars and said the bout was everything he wanted out of professional wrestling. One fan responded by asking if he could expect to see Storm versus Danielson in the future. He simply responded by saying that he's thankful for the matches they've been able to have in the past. Following his epic encounter with Bryan Danielson, Kenny Omega took to Twitter to make it very clear that he does not want to run it back with the American Dragon. Thanks for watching today's Sportskeeda Wrestling News Roundup. For more news stories and exclusive content, be sure you follow us on all social media. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Download the Sportskeeda app for the most up-to-date stories in the world of wrestling.